Having high standards is one of the most important things that you will ever do for yourself. When you have high standards, you won't accept low tier efforts. You won't be impressed by the bare minimum. You'll know that you are capable of having more and that you will put in the work to have it. And I'm not talking about the way we interact with others and the behaviors we accept from them. While it's obviously good to have high standards in that regard too, I'm focusing on the way we treat ourselves. An example of having low standards for yourself would be doing lots of things for other people and always bending over backwards to keep the commitments you make to them, but hardly ever keeping the promises you make to yourself. It's knowing how beneficial a skincare routine and exercise regime would be, but constantly ignoring it while you praise others for the results of their routines. When you have high standards for yourself, you will put yourself in positions to have good outcomes and experience things that only those who also have high standards will experience. This includes taking good care of yourself, from the food you eat to your hygiene routine to the way you spend your free time, the way you present yourself every day, the jobs you go after, the way you keep your living space, and so much more. When I set a standard for myself, it's hard to justify being below that level. It's one thing for someone else's standards to be out of reach for you. For example, if someone set the standard of getting their hair done professionally every week and wouldn't be caught dead in last season's clothes, you shouldn't try to copy everything that others do, because what they can do with ease might bankrupt you with the swiftness. Or maybe someone else's standard isn't a thing you care about. For example, I see girls who are religious about having their acrylics done every 2 weeks like clockwork, but I don't care about that. So again, I wouldn't bother copying what others do. The high standard fitness routine of someone like, say, The Rock, who works out like 10 times a day starting at 3 a.m., will be wildly different than the student who has the high standard of hitting the gym every day for an hour at 6 a.m. Your high standards should be in relation to your lifestyle. So please don't try to copy the routines and expectations of the female rappers you follow. But all of this is to say that no matter what your standards are for the life you live, you need to stick to them and make sure that you allow yourself to live that elevated life as a normal thing. There's no reason to be walking around unkempt and destitute when you have the means and abilities to do more. Personally, I can't skip showers because I value a clean body. I flat out refuse to leave the house with messy hair because I absolutely, positively cannot accept that for myself. I have 2 skincare routines, one for if I'm short on time and one for if I have all the time in the world. But either way, I never skip my skincare routine because I value having clear, soft, dewy skin. When I study, I don't study until I get it right. I study until I can't get it wrong because I value mastering the knowledge. When I have a dream of doing something that I love and would feel the overwhelming honor and joy of doing, I will do it no matter what it takes or how much work I have to put in to get it, because that's a standard I set for myself. I refuse to be someone who has a graveyard of their hopes and dreams that they walked away from. Even if a wrench gets thrown in my plans, even if I have to take a step back and wait until a better time, it will get done. When I was younger, I had high standards for my grades and academics, but I routinely failed myself in other avenues. I wasn't flaky to my friends, but I was to myself. And I quickly learned that it won't do. When I have high standards and high expectations, I look great, I feel great, I perform great, and I go to bed satisfied with the effort I put in that day. I know I did my best cooking that dish and went out of my way to try something new rather than ordering out 5 times a week. I know everyone is comfortable in our home because I make an effort to keep it clean and looking good. I know I keep the promises I made to myself to finish that book, go study at the time I said I would, get up on time, Now that I've been showing up for myself at a high level in all areas, I can't imagine reverting. I can't imagine treating myself as less than this. Without high standards, it's so easy to constantly exist in a mediocre way without doing much that you're proud of. You're not proud of the way your house looks, the way your skin looks, the way your hair looks. You don't have great hygiene. You don't bother doing much with your days. You're just living sloppy. That won't do. Having high standards will change everything, and you won't want to go back or settle for less. Not once you experience all of the benefits that come with it. So I hope you guys take a look at the way you treat yourself and really think about if you're really doing yourself justice or if you're just selling yourself short. I think you should make a list of areas you can do better in and really be committed to making those changes. It will be worth it in every way. Bye.